morning, everyone, and welcome to the GSM's Pride. Hope you all had a fabulous weekend. This week, we're going to talk about teamwork. We're going to talk about how important teamwork is, how important building the right team is, and I'm curious, what kind of weight do you put on the team? Because I know the car industry as a whole is very much a, how do I put this nicely, selfish industry. But on the flip side of that, you kind of have to have a really good team that works well together. So one thing that we've done at Lufuse Ford, and actually realistically any dealership I've worked at, I've always tried to build the team as a whole that goes for sales, service and parts all together. I have a little bit of a different situation at the Ford store because the buildings are so far apart. We're about a football field away from the service department, from the sales department, so it makes it a little bit more difficult, but we do try. My question to you is, how many things do you do as a group outside work to try and build the team? What emphasis do you put on for people when you hire them? How important for them to be a team player is that for you? And what do you do differently to most people to build that team? You know, it's something that I've always believed in. I grew up in a locker room, so it's kind of something that's close to my heart. I've got a lot of criticism in my time, especially the further up I moved up. When I was a general sales manager, I always got a lot of criticism that I was too close to the sales team and they were more my friends than my employees. But one thing I always found a way to do is figure out a way to draw the line so they know that ultimately I'm in charge and that if I need something done, I need it done. So I think that's all about building respect with a team, but it's also about giving respect at the same time. So that's what we're going to talk about this week. I'm excited to show you some stuff. We've got a lot of footage for you from a team standpoint, so I will see you all in a little bit.
Who are you? This is my family. I found it all on my own. It's little and broken, but still good. Yeah, still good.
Do you feel like we're more of a team or a family here?
I would say, honestly, I would agree with probably more like a family. As I do spend a lot of time here, so a lot of these people you see every single day. So it's you get to know everybody pretty well.
We spend most of our days here every day, and we're here more than we are at home. So we've all kind of learned to appreciate each other as like a family.
We've had our difficulties, but we worked through it, and we think it's pretty good. I like it.
Because when personal issues arise and there's things to be dealt with, I have the support that goes beyond work.
Because we're really united, we are always willing to help each other out, and we don't see each other as competition. We see each other like a family here.
The fact that we do a lot of stuff together. We do outside events together, and we're involved in each other, like we know each other's business outside of work, and it just feels like we're more connected.
Well, the support, you know, I've only been at one other dealership, but the support here is over the top. Sure, we get our chewings, but we also get our fair share of attaboys, which I think is a great mixture.
What do you feel that is a difference between other places you've worked at that have been a team environment versus here?
I think everybody strives to do better. Everybody wants to do more and make everything better, and make it just works well together.
As far as why we're different, we all get along we all get along better than most other places I've ever worked at. Everybody always bickers and complains about each other. Here you don't have that. And we do go out and do things outside of work. We all get along and have fun.
What makes us a team is the communication that we have with each other, and we respect each other's customers. If it's your customer, you're going to work with them. No one tries to steal customers, which is really respectful.
I mean, everything, we're pretty much always involved in a lot of things. I mean, here at work and outside of work, make it less about work and more about having, I guess, fun together. So it's, yeah.
We help each other out a lot. You know, if I need something, I can yell at Bijan and ask him to come over and help me figure something out. He can do the same to me. He'll call me and I'll help him out. Management is always accessible for us to come to with questions. Very supportive atmosphere.
So the teammates are willing to help you without expecting anything back.
We actually go to outings together, and we're always here to help each other out, and we never exclude anyone. So we're always willing to help all of us, and we're always here to help one another. So
I like how we can do stuff outside of work, you know, and have fun. Like the Top Golf was awesome, and we all had a great time. So.
The communication that we have out here in the service drive and with management and the techs and the advisors all together, I think we communicate actually better than most people think.
And you feel that this is definitely a good team environment?
Yep.
So why do I think team building is so important? Well, it's all about respect at the end of the day. So, you know, I follow a guy by the name of Sir Alex Ferguson. Some of you may know who he is, some of you may not. He's the most winningest, if that's a word, the most winning coach of all time in any sport.
Many regard him as the best coach in all of sports.
I have studied and analysed leaders all my life, but I never saw one quite as successful as Sir Alex Ferguson.
He's wrote a couple of books, and also I follow a lot of his philosophies. And one thing that he did that was pretty spectacular, he took a youngster team, basically a team of kids, and won the treble in the world of soccer. So that is a pretty unprecedented, and I followed a lot of his things, and it's all about respect. And he was a very, very firm leader, but the difference was he was also, he had a lot of respect for his team, and he made them players, no matter how good they were or how much of a superstar they were, all work the same amount.
His relentless need for success and have that desire to do better and to make sure that we don't stand still.
He's got a really strong vision. He wants to win, and he's ruthlessly executing against that every single time.
So what basically happens in a team like that is obviously they all come together and they all push each other with their work ethic. And that's one thing that I've always strived myself to do, is to try and make sure that everyone works their hardest. And at times I am very hard to work for, but I'm very fair at the same time.
I mean, sometimes I would lose my temper when we win. Now, the real reason for losing your temper is because of expectation. I could never visualize us losing a game. You know, by the time I'd picked my team, done the tactics, had my team talk, I was confident we'd always win a game. But, of course, you don't win every game, that's a fact. But when they dropped below their expectation, that annoyed me most, you know.
And it's all about getting everyone to gel together as a team. One thing I'll ask you as a question is, when you do an interview with a new salesperson, do you actually ask them what their background is? Are they sports oriented? Have they been on teams? Are they a good team worker? Because at the end of the day, if they don't fit the mold of the team, you'll be surprised how much that can affect you. You know, the amount of times in the auto industry that I've actually had some really good salespeople that end up being the bad egg, let's say, and then you take them out of the equation, how much everyone else will step up.
You saw where particular individuals were starting to become far too important in their own right, and he showed and demonstrated that he could do without them.
He said to you, what do you do with a player who won't accept the discipline? You said, get him out.
If they're affecting the control of you or they're disrupting the dressing room, you have to make a decision. Is it worth it?
So I'm a really big believer that the team atmosphere is very, very important. I do personally, and I always have. I grew up in a locker room, and I've always prided myself on being a team player and showing these guys. You know, I'll tell you a very quick story. When I first came to the Lou Fuse Automotive Network, the very first day I worked, I was the used car manager, and I went out and moved the entire lot on my own. Now, I did have salespeople come out to me at the time and say, hey, do you want some help? And I refused the help, and there was a simple reason for it. I wanted to prove to them that I would never do something or ask them to do something that I wouldn't do myself.
Very, very early, all the time, he was there in his office to check, to make the training. And he was always the first one and always the last one to go home. So I learned this kind of stuff with him.
And that's something that wasn't lost on the players. I said, if he's in early, why are you not? He's been doing it 25, 30 years. Why are you not in before him, or at least near the same time as him, and putting the work in?
And that's all back down to respect. People will work hard for you as long as you show them that you work hard for them. And so it's imperative that you have their backs at all times, but they also have to be on the same page as you.
I think the strength of United is this great family spirit we always created. And people who thrive and be recognised.
You don't mean the star players? You're talking about the people around the club?
Yeah, they're no problem. I mean, players, you're with them all the time. That's the difference. As a manager at Manchester United, you can easily walk by someone, a girl coming out of the office, and not recognise them. I wouldn't do that. I would say hello, good morning, whatever. And I think it's that recognition that gives you that strength of a family.
There's unbelievable ability of remembering everyone's name. Obviously, he knows Kath from reception and the laundry girls and the chefs and the cleaners. You've got 65, 70 players. You've got to remember all the names. Plus the schoolboys, that's another 30 or 40. He knew all the names because he took an interest in what they were doing and how they were progressing. He was the top man, and if he's doing it, then everyone else should be doing it as well.
But at the end of the day, teamwork makes the dream work. That's what I believe in. So make sure that you are trying to build the right team for you and the group. And I'll sure see you all in a bit. Short and sweet again this week. I hope you got a little bit out of it. Again, it's more about the team building that's important to me, and having a team and having that team's back. Again, always make sure you're commenting on them. Ask me any questions you want in there, and I'll try and answer those and get some communication going. I'm going to post up my subscription on this side, and then the next video on the other side. As always, over at Lou Fuse Ford, we can replace the car but not the customer. Subscribe, 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 and I'll see you all next week.